Okay, so this is integration video 6. It's very straightforward. All we're going to be doing is just integrating and substituting in our bounds of integration. Okay, these are called definite integrals. So a definite integral, here's example 1, is just an integral with an upper and a lower bound. Okay, this is called the lower bound. This is called the upper bound. So the way you do this is you get the antiderivative, which is x squared over 2 times 3. You put a little bar to the right. Now you substitute in your upper bound first. 3 times the square of 1 over 2 minus, you subtract off the result from your lower bound. So this is 3/2. Okay, what does this mean? Well, let me tell you what it means. This means that you have some function. We're going from 0 to 1, right? And the function is 3x. So rise 3, run 1. See this little segment here? Well, this amount, 3/2, is the area of this triangle. It's the area underneath the curve because the triangle has a base of 1, a height of 3, and the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So the area is 1/2 1 times 3, or 3/2. That's what this integral is doing. It's getting the area underneath the curve of the function y equals 3x from 1 to 3. Example 2. We have 2x minus 5 squared integral 0 to 2. First things first, okay, well, I mean, you could try a u sub here. Sure, why not? You could also just multiply it out, but I'm not going to be doing u sub here because there will be another strategy we do with definite integrals. So 2x minus 5 times 2x minus 5. Okay, as you know, that's 4x squared. Minus 10, which is minus 20x plus 25. I haven't integrated. All I have done is just multiply this out. Now I'm going to integrate 4x cubed over 3 minus x squared. It would normally be over 2, but the 2 cancels with the 20, making that a 10, plus 25x. Bounds of integration. Substitute in your upper bound. And then subtract off your lower bound, which happens to be 0. Don't assume it's always going to be 0, people. What if this lower bound would have been 1? So I get 32 over 3 minus 40 plus 50. So that's plus 10. Or 30 over 3, so 62 over 3. Magnificent, okay? That is your integral. Alrighty, people. Let's take a look at another problem. Example 3. We have the integral of x minus 2 over rad x dx from 1 to 9. Number 1, split this up. This is a heart problem. I have to make it a rad, don't I? So I have x over the square root of x. Well, that's just the square root of x. Minus 2 times x to the 1/2. I haven't done a thing yet. All I've done is algebra. So now the integral of the square root of x is x to the 3/2 times 2/3. The integral of negative 2x to the 1/2. Oh, naughty me. That's negative 1/2. So that is x to the 1/2 power divided by 1/2. divided by a half is multiplying by 2, so this becomes negative 4. 1 to 9. So I get 2/3 times the square root of 9 cubed, that's 27, minus 4 times the square root of 9, minus the quantity, 2/3 minus 4. So 2/3 times 27, that is 18, minus 12, minus 2/3, plus 4. So that's 10 minus 2/3, which is 9 1/3. Okay. Take a look at a couple more. Let's do, okay. People love this question. I love this question. Who am I kidding? So we have the absolute value of x minus 2. Well, do you even know what this function is? X minus 2 absolute value is the function x minus 2 or the opposite of x minus 2, depending where you're at. When you're to the right of 2, you're at this function. To the left of 2, this function. It's a piecewise function. So you need to split this up at 2, kids. So this is the integral from 0 to 2 of the opposite of x minus 2 plus the integral from 2 to 3 of just x minus 2. Okay, so from there you just integrate x squared over 2 minus 2x. But I have that negative in front, kids, so I change that into that. Plus x squared minus 2x from 2 to 3. I'm going to sub in my bounds of integration. 2 squared over 2, negative is negative 2 plus 4. Okay, minus 0. Plus 3 squared, 9, minus 6, minus the quantity, 2 squared minus 2. Oh, lucky us. So we get 2 plus 9 minus 6, or 11 minus 6, or 5. Okay, there you have it. Remember, trig is your friend, is it not? Well, you gotta get used to it, kids. So, let's say that we have the integral from 0 to pi over 2 of 3 sine x minus 2 cosine x dx. Okay, number 1. What has a derivative of sine x? That is correct. Negative cosine x. Put the 3 in front there. What has a derivative of negative cosine x? Well, just keep the negative. Sine x has a derivative of cosine x. Bar 0 pi over 2. Pi over 2 goes in first. Negative 3 times cosine of pi over 2 minus 2 times sine of pi over 2 minus the quantity. Negative 3 cosine 0 minus 2 sine 0. Okay, well, cosine pi over 2 is 0, so that's 0. Sine pi over 2 is 1. Cosine of 0, as you know, is 1, so that's negative 3. Sine of 0 is 0. So what do I get? I get negative 2 plus 3, or 1. Okay, in your graph, when you look at the graph, so I just sketched the graph of 3 sine x minus 2 cos x in radian mode. Okay, it's not going to be the prettiest picture, but it's good enough. So, anyway, you could see that the area that accumulates, this is accumulation because it's above the curve, this is below the curve. But you can see that this area to the right of this point is obviously greater, so it makes sense that it would be positive. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, I hope this video helped. I tried to keep this one short and sweet as well because we have other things going on. Thank you.